Fellow Biafrans, good evening, good morning, good night, good afternoon, good everything, except bye. No matter, they are just finished their little meeting, the short meeting they had with Mazi Simon Ekpa, wonderful one, in preparation for what's going to happen on Saturday, which we look forward to by the grace of God. So now that they are through, that's why I have the opportunity to come up now so that there will not be any kind of conflict of interest. I want to respond to, I listened to King Solomon, and he was making some suggestions and analysis. I appreciate the young man. He's been doing a good job, but that one didn't go down well with me because we need to make certain clarifications as to why Biafra is on the burner, on the front burner. We have to make it plain to the whole world. He was saying that there is need for Peter Obi to meet with Simon Ekpa. He argued his points that it wouldn't have been nice if Peter Obi had approached Simon Ekpa first, but it should be that means it should be about the last or almost the last person to approach. And he was trying to say that Peter Obi has made various groups in Nigeria and lately met with Afani Ferre. And Afani Ferre endorsed Peter Obi on the grounds that it is the turn of the Igbos to produce a president for Nigeria. And King Solomon was saying that Peter Obi seems to be gathering a lot of momentum for what he had seen. And he advised that it would be nice for Peter Obi to see Simon Ekpa if he can convince Simon Ekpa to agree into maybe based on certain agreements so that Peter Obi can get support. If not, he shouldn't, that he will not listen to Peter Obi if they don't have any agreement. And even said that Simon Ekpa once told Peter Obi that he had a chance to see him. I know when Simon Ekpa said that thing, I want to correct something. King Solomon, I like your presentation, but listen to me. Peter Obi going to meet Afani Ferre and them endorsing him, that even the Fulanis want Peter Obi the president of Nigeria, has nothing to do with the Biafran vision and question. Nothing, absolutely. And so, this thing should be understood in this light. Remember when Nnamdi Kanu, before he was abducted, he made a comment 2 weeks before then, or a little bit above 2 weeks, and said, the time has come when a lot of pressure will be on us. It needs people who are mentally strong to stand for what they believe in, for Biafra to manifest. And part of his conclusion was that they were going to fight us from all angles, but they are not going to win. He can assure us that. So, we, the Biafrans, are not interested in Nigeria, period. It's not about the clout or popularity Peter Obi is generating. It's not about that. It's about the freedom of a people from humiliation and subjugation, and a realization now that they can no longer stay in this relationship that has hurt them greatly for years, for decades, more than a century. The Biafrans no longer believe in Nigeria. So even if Afani Ferre endorses Peter Obi, that's their own. We will not, because of the pressure or supposed popularity Peter Obi is gaining, we bend our resolve for the actualization of the Biafran nation so as to join the people around us in reasoning like them. No, that's not the issue. And there is no way in which, if we refuse to do what they are saying, therefore we'll be disadvantaged and we lose it. It's not true. There has never been a time when freedom is gotten on a platter of gold. It is gotten by force. You have to take it. It involves maybe talking harshly, exchange of words, even if it results into violence in the theater of war, so that you can have yourself. I want to King Wasoloman to understand that him advising P2B to go and meet Simon Ekpa is a little concession from his side. If perhaps P2B can convincingly make Simon Ekpa concede to P2B being the president of Nigeria, once that happens, the Biafran dream dies. Do you know what we are fighting for? We are fighting for a nation, a people that don't belong in a contraption. We are fighting against a contraption that is a lie. Something people are working hard at this time to fix for over 100 years. They marginalized and decimated the Igbos. And wickedness prevailed in the land for decades. Nobody spoke. The only reason why they are worried now is because the political parties made the mistake of not giving the presidential slot to the Southeast, either from APC or PDP. But before then, before this slot of presidency eluded the Igbos, we had declared that we no longer belong to Nigeria. We are Biafrans. We had reached the Rubicon, or we've crossed it. We are not going back. So there is nothing you can put on the table in terms of money, position, or authority that can make us fail in our resolve. Because the moment we do that, we are no longer a people that are reliable. We are not fit to speak in the international community again. We have sold our rights. Nobody should ever listen to us. It's like salvation. You want to go to heaven, and Satan comes and begins to give you things that are dicey as to the reason why you should listen to him, so that you can enter that heaven in a better way without stress. But Jesus told you that the way to heaven is narrow, very few find it, and it's filled with persecutions and problems. But you fight it until you enter into heaven. So when Satan comes and brings you money, position, government contracts, recognition, beautiful women, and power with certain miracles, and you look at it and say, that is the route the whole world is following. All Nigerians are taking this way, therefore let us follow them. No, Mr. King Solomon, I disagree with you there. This is no contention. The point is, you cannot tell me let's reason and look at things in a more reasonable. No. This thing is something you people say is spiritual. It is. It has to do with the life of a nation, a people, an ideology, which is different from the ones of the surrounding nations we stay with. If Sudan, as small as the population is, could fight consistently for 20 years and they got their independence, who told you there were not overwhelming evidences for John Garang to have submitted to the authorities from, I think, Jaffa el-Numeri to Bashir or something like that? Who told you they were not there for John Garang to concede? He refused. He stood his ground. He wanted independence for his people. My freedom is better than being a Nigerian under bondage. I want a Biafran nation. So when you are suggesting that you should go and meet Simon Ekpa, from the tone of your language, when you talk, you do your eye like this, which, signifying wisdom and talking, you are trying to make Simon see to P2B's point of view and see where they can have an agreement, so that P2B can become the president of Nigeria, where Biafra will just disappear from the table Everybody will be a Nigerian. We are not interested in Nigeria. He can be the president of Nigeria. We don't care. The point is, there shall be no election in Biafra land. And when there is no election in Biafra land, there can never be any president in Nigeria. That's the fact. Because you need 25% of the votes in, I think, 2/3 of all the states in the federation, or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. 25% of the votes cast in all the regions for you to win the presidency. Now, if there is no election in Biafra land that comprises all the states within the South, South, and South, because there are 6 regions: South, South, Southeast, Southwest, Northeast, Northwest, and North Central. Now, if there is no election in Biafra land, what will constitute majority for anybody to become president becomes unavailable, lacking, and therefore there can be no president in Nigeria in the first instance. So, and the British and the Fulanis have understood that without the participation of the Igbos in election, not just based on the fact that Peter Obi is going to contest, for if we had decided to participate in the election and say we are going to vote for either Atiku or Tinubu, Peter Obi would have been insignificant. Nobody would have listened to him, because our participation makes the election valid. So since we say we're not going to participate and we want Biafra, the credibility of the election has a question mark. And the only way to, try and help matters so that it could be valid, it could have validation in the eyes of the international community, is to bring an Igbo man who will come and contest. So that they will not say, one person from this region is doing, and definitely there might be followers. Now, this young man is coming on the heels of the actualization of Biafra, which is there, here, now. Because why he's still contesting and not speaking about Nnamdi Kanu, the United Nations have told Nigeria to release Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. So why are we bringing Peter Obi? Is he going to negotiate for... The United Nations said Nnamdi Kanu should be released unconditionally. They have recognized that in our consistency of staying at home, our case has come to their notice. And if at this point somebody is suggesting that Peter Obi should go and meet Simon Ekpa, I'm not afraid. I know Simon Ekpa will not listen to Peter Obi. I know him very well. If somebody is suggesting, invariably he is capitulating to the ideas of the general supporters of Peter Obi and some highly placed people and individual organizations. Remember, Afani Fere is not speaking for the Odua people. And even if they are, they should come up plain and say, because Odua had declared their own republic or something like that, they have their own faction there. So we cannot, because Afani Fere is endorsing Obi, you come and tell us that Simon Ekpa should listen to Peter Obi. For what? That automatically drops every sacrifice for Biafra from 1967 to the present date and all the lives lost. You think Simon Ekpa doesn't know? You think you know more than he knows in respect to this battle for Biafra? You think that Simon Ekpa will, after all this while, he will now come and concede to Peter Obi to come and be the president of Nigeria, and then whatever negotiation, Biafra must be under Nigeria. You cannot make any negotiation with Peter Obi. Peter Obi says he will die for one Nigeria. He is not interested in the Biafra nation. And for your information, Afani Fere never opted, like Biafra, to run their own nation. I mean, the Afani Fere leaders. None of them ever come out. It was Igboho that came out. I was leading Yoruba people. Afani Fere never came out and said, we're having Yoruba Republic or Duduwa Republic. They never said it. We said, we want Biafra. It started from 1967 to the present day. We want Biafra. So you cannot come and begin to tell us that Simon Ekpa should listen to Peter. That's a concession. You see, the pressure is on you so much. You have seen what they have shown you, or you have seen what Peter B. Maybe he's garnering support from so many angles in Nigeria. This is the test run of how mentally and psychologically strong you are as a Biafran. How far can you go in believing for Biafra? How far can you endure for Biafra to come? No wonder Onyendu said, God is looking for 100 men. As time progresses, we begin to see the difference. Simon Ekpa says he's one of them, disciples of Nnamdi Kanu. He says, don't look at it as an exaggeration. He says he's worth 50 men. Well, I see that not based on numerical understanding, but on activity, responsibility, commitment. Simon Ekpa is worth 50 because he's committed. But when you begin to count, you count him if his vote is just one person. So God is looking for 100 persons. I am also one of them. There is nothing you can say or do that will make me. Even if you give us Nigerian presidents on the platform of God, we don't want it. The point is we want out. Period. So King Wa Solomon, your analysis, I don't buy it. It doesn't gel. If you are a true Igbo, if you are a true Biafran, you will know that no matter what is given in Nigeria, even if they say they are going to change all the army generals and make them Igbos, all the head of departments, you tell them, no, we don't want Nigeria any longer. We are Biafrans. We want out. We want to build our own nation, our culture, our people, our structures, our manner of life. We have an orientation on how Biafra shall be. We want to run a modern country, a nation that fears God, that applies the rule of law, that has good law enforcement agencies, that understands and respects and apply the human rights, policies and principles. Biafra is different from Nigeria. So when you say he should listen to P2B, that suggestive approach is offensive to my spirit as a Biafran. Nnamdi Kanu made it absolutely plain. There is no wisdom you will bring now. I am not condemning you or contending. I'm telling you, King Wa Solomon, this idea is wrong. We don't buy it. You don't seem to understand the thing about Biafra. It is no longer about political position or appointment. It is no longer that. It is not based on popular approach of Nigerians to an issue. No, it's no longer. It is about we, the people of Biafra, our lives, our future, what we decide. We don't want to be in Nigeria any longer. We want to be ourselves. We don't hate Nigerians. If Biafra says they don't want to stay, they should be left alone. And when Biafra comes, we go. P2B can still be the president of Nigeria, and he wants to negotiate with Biafrans on technology. We have to sit down and consider if it is worthwhile. If we don't agree, it is entirely up to us, and vice versa. If we need them for technology and they don't buy, they can refuse. But the point is, we want our freedom. We've been talking about this freedom for a long time. People have died. Lives have been lost. Then at this moment, when we are seeing the down of the manifestation of this new nation, Biafra, you are coming up with the idea that P2B should go and visit Simon. On what basis? Simon Ekpa doesn't have any business with P2B. The only thing P2B can say that Simon Ekpa will listen to is for P2B to come out and say, I support Biafra. Then Simon Ekpa can listen to P2B. So yes, you're saying the right thing. But P2B cannot say that. Why? Because it will jeopardize his presidential bid. The thing that is more important in P2B is for him to become president. And hoping that he will, by using a magic wand, turn everything and change. Even Jesus Christ, who went on the cross and died, that his name has been exalted above every other name, did not change things automatically after his death on earth. There are still evil people manifesting today. The time when Jesus will change another, the whole thing will come, when he will come the second time, and he will come with fire and fighting and killing his enemies. It's there for Bible. So you cannot get your freedom by negotiation or by, platter of gold understanding. You have to take it by force. For him to get the freedom for us in our salvation, he went to the grave and died. It was a forceful freedom. But that one, the force was against him, he was killed. He allowed himself to be killed. And he rose from the dead. The time that is coming to redeem his people, to be with him forever, he's coming by force. This time not to be killed, but to kill his killers and those who are rebellious. So you cannot expect Biafra to come without going to the battlefield. We have tried speaking. 2019, they managed to talk to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He said, okay, let's give them a chance. And when he gave them a chance, they failed. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, never again, that he gave them a chance, they misbehaved. These people are not reliable. There shall be no election in Biafra land beginning from Anambra State. They failed it again. The second time, under pressure, people were putting, they decided to reason. And at reasoning, Soludo came. What happened? Soludo began to work assiduously against IPOB and the Biafran project. Now Peter Obi is coming up. And somebody is telling us that Peter Obi should go and talk. When you talk and do that, that's the wisdom of men. It has nothing to do with the Spirit of Christ. It has nothing to do with the Spirit of God that directs this movement. He who personally lifted up Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave him wisdom and told him move. And as he was moving, they truncated the thing on the way through abduction. And he spoke to show that the program of God cannot be limited by man. To Simon Epa, he took it and he's been moving. Suddenly, we're hearing a cacophony of voices from different quarters trying to push someone. Somebody once told me, no, we have to use wisdom. That as an Igbo man, when you check, you calculate, then you do it. So you use wisdom at the end, you will make your enemy come, then you will. That is a stupid sense. The Hausa man tells you, the Fulani man tells you openly, this is what I want. He goes for it to fight. That was the reason why the British handed over power to them, because they saw in them the resolve to do something, to speak their mind, carry it out dexterously without distraction. No matter the amount of promises you are giving Ahmadu Bello, he wouldn't have accepted an Igbo man to be the president of Nigeria in 1960. No matter, even if you had told him, in fact, we have an understanding, they will develop the whole of the North. Let the Igbos, he wouldn't. The man told a British journalist that they can never give Igbos a chance, that they are arrogant. They want to dominate. Why is it that these things don't, I don't know why it does not enter into your ears repeatedly to remind you. When you make such suggestions, it's a betrayal of trust. And that makes me to question your loyalty to the Biafran cause. It is for that reason that Nnamdi Kanu is in detention. And United Nations said release him, regardless of the pressure they have put on this young man over this 1 year plus killing of Biafrans and all the lies they have spoken against us. Release him unconditionally. At this point, when we have won the battle, you are coming to say, go and listen to Peter Obi. Peter Obi does not believe in Biafra. He does not believe in Nnamdi Kanu. Didn't you know what happened during the Masob era? The Izu River? The floating of bodies? Didn't you hear when Peter Obi was being interviewed? He said when he comes into government, he will gather all these people and give them amnesty or something like that and have a discussion. Anybody that refuses, then he will deal with them decisively. Who do you think will refuse? We are Biafrans. We are not going to stay in Nigeria again. It's just like Britain exited from Europe. And you are coming to tell the British people, no, please go and reason with the new European president. So that, they will give Britain opportunity to do what they want to do in Europe. That's nonsense. The British want out. They came out. That's what we want. So anybody suggesting in any way that someone else should listen to Peter Obi so that maybe he can consider it's betrayal of trust, sabotage. And I don't buy it. I'm not here to contend with you. I'm not going to have any, altercation with you on this thing. I'm talking based on the principle, the policy, the belief. I'm talking based on the ideology and the spirit of Biafra. Our leader is there in detention. That was how some other person came and a particular community in Mbise raised up a young man and said he's the Lion of Biafra. Why the Lion of Biafra is there in detention? They just put him aside. Now you are saying this thing so that although I know within myself that Simon Ekpa will not even listen to Peter Obi. He will not even listen to him. But your suggestion, what is implying? If there is a way Simon Ekpa can be convinced at that level, based on how he has gone, he drops the Biafran issue and tells us Peter Obi has convinced him, and then Nnamdi Kanu will be Peter Obi that will release Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu told you about Peter Obi, gave you reasons why Peter Obi is not reliable, and those reasons has never been faulted by any human being on this planet Earth, whether legally, economically, financially, materially, or whatever. Biblically, nobody has faulted it. Then the same Peter Obi, the wisdom of the Igbos only show how foolish they are, because they don't make a resolve and fight till the end. Didn't you hear what they said about Nnamdi Azikiwe and Awolowo? When they were looking for who they will meet to liaise with the Northerners and hold government, because the North didn't want Southeast and Southwest to come together. They were not going to take that. Rather, they will leave Nigeria. That's what they're not saying. That's why I love them. They are resolved in their issues. You say they are not educated, but they're wiser than you. You say they are not exposed, but they see better than you do. And that is why they have been holding sway and ruling you and I today. And they are now applying the same tactics, which is holding you to ransom. They started with Yoruba land and said, how do we catch Yoruba land? Do whatever they are doing in their Christianity, in the Islam. Hold Islamic services on Sunday. Do hallelujah. Do miracles. Finish on Sunday. So that when you come down to talk to a Muslim in a Yoruba state, he will say, it's the same God we are serving now. We are serving. You worship God on Sunday, we worship God on Sunday. You dance, we dance. So there's similarity in our worship. That way there will be a mingling. If you are not strong in the flow of the Spirit, you mingle with them using this Solomonic wisdom. The wisdom of Solomon is not comparable to the wisdom of Jesus Christ. Now, I'm not Jesus, but I'm saying that Solomon in all his wisdom was not arrayed like this, flowers in the garden. So if somebody has Solomonic wisdom, it has nothing compared to the wisdom, the messianic wisdom. Then they said, how do we get the Igbos? All you have to do to the Igbos is to spray money around, give them contract, put a bait to them, because the Igbos love money, how they can negotiate and get something for their benefit, and they are getting us. But take this very thing and go and give to the Northerners religion to mix with their own. They will call you kafir, you are an infidel, your religion is evil. They cannot mingle with you. If you want to go and get them, you want to give them money, they will not accept your money, because they are strongly embedded in their faith, in what they believe that your money can never convince them. Instead, they want to kill you and take that money. So when you bring the idea, I feel very concerned and very angry. I don't like that kind of comment. But I know that Simon Ekpa is is just too above that level of thinking, because he's operating in the spirit. He understands the Biafran situation more than you do, more than a lot of us even do. Those of us who are talking, he understands it more than. So you see the spirit now the is operating in. The next person operating in that spirit is Simon Ekpa. Chike Dozie couldn't operate in that spirit. He couldn't. Tina Samoru could not. And that's why things were spoiling. Neither did all the others there who are just a bunch of, some of them, I don't know how true that is. Even Rabbi Charles, who, I don't know, was said to have been a member of the British intelligence. He couldn't operate in the spirit of Nnamdi Kanu, even though he was talking at that time, because I questioned somebody. I asked him, if Rabbi Charles was part of the British intelligence, they did not tell him they were going to kidnap his leader. And the reason why they did not tell him was because they feel he might not allow it. Then, at knowing that they did that, their hands were there, it was enough to resign from the intelligence. Because Biafra is greater than Britain, as far as I'm concerned, it's my nation. That's why I don't have trust in Rabbi Charles. I never did. I'm looking at somebody who thinks like Nnamdi Kanu, and I see Simon Ekpa. He's thinking like, I'm not trying to push him in. No. He knows this thing better. He says, Nnamdi Kanu told him, do not allow Satan to enter. He says, Satan will never enter him. And he's number one disciple, Onyokuru. I'm not rule number one. I'm number two. Or maybe number 3 or number 4. There are other people who may be very, very committed than myself who are not talking. But I know that I am one of them. One of those committed 100 Biafrans. You can never sway me. Let Allah Nigeria Mala. We want out. O-U-T. Out. We want to form our own nation. Build our own nation. We don't want anything again to do with Nigeria. Don't give me anything. Like P2B or somebody, come and let's negotiate and be reasonable. All those people they are looking for their bellies. Give me freedom. Give me my liberty. Or kill me. I cannot be alive and walk with the Fulanis. Not in this world. They are evil. They are wicked. They are devilish. They are satanic. So I said this to tell King Solomon that publication you gave there is offensive to the Biafran psyche. It's offensive to the Biafran intelligence. It's offensive to the Biafran spirit. Why would somebody tell somebody to go and listen to P2B who is against Nnamdi Kanu that's in detention? He wants him dead there. What kind of wisdom is P2B playing that he's keeping it low so that when he becomes president, who told you that without your being president, Nnamdi Kanu will not be free? Are you God? He is the man that God called and God gave him a vision, and everything Nnamdi Kanu said is coming to pass fulfilled. That guy is quintessential. He's sublime. He's something different. And God raised a servant to follow him in the person of Simon Ekpa. Somehow distraction is coming from purposely supporters. Or maybe, that's why if you are not IPOB, autopilot, you can't really say things the way we are saying it. Because autopilot, we hear more, people who key into that spirit, that little narrow way, and understanding the heartbeat of Nnamdi Kanu, what God gave to him, Simon Ekpa is running with that vision. We are saying it, we know, we are like the sons of Issachar, who know the signs of the time. That people on earth are clamoring over something does not make it approved by God. That P2B is running from Obasanjo to churches does not make him approved of God. Jonathan tried it before Buhari came. When God wanted to remove Jonathan from the office, he raised up the Muslims, they rigged him out. And then these Muslims now dealt with us so that because God wanted, Nnamdi Kanu said, with Jonathan in government, we will not get Biafra. But with Buhari in government, we'll get Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu said it. Because God wants a man that will come and oppress us, that will give us a good ground to fight and ask for our freedom without looking back. And so Jonathan was removed. And Buhari came in and began to exercise evil. And everybody has seen it. And we have resolved and said, never again shall this happen. We are leaving Nigeria. Biafra is a free nation. And any man standing against Biafra, let me tell you the truth, it is God who will deal with that man. It is God. If God decides to take him away, he will take him away. If God decides to give him plagues, he will give him plagues. If God decides to make him totally irrelevant and inconsequential in life, God will do it. I don't have any particular thing that I will say that will happen to that man. But I know of a certainty. God has decided to liberate Biafrans. He raised Nnamdi Kanu, and when they abducted him, he continued his vision and raised Simon Ekpa. And Simon Ekpa is doing a absolutely fantastic job. He's bringing in a new dimension to this awareness that we are creating. That is what Nnamdi Kanu said. And you are telling Simon Ekpa to listen to P2B if he can be convinced. No, man. That's betrayal of trust. I don't go for that. I don't care if everybody in Nigeria can support P2B. We are Biafrans. We are not Nigerians. So they can go ahead. He can be the president. No problems. My standing against P2B is his action to come and truncate the Biafran dream that is actualizing. You remember this same P2B was the man that Odumegwu Ojukwu in the presence of the whole world, told the Anambra people, if there's anything you do for me before I die, vote Peter Obi in to be the governor of Anambra State. On the platform of APGA. He presented Peter Obi to Ndibo, and Igbos respected the Kemba and voted Peter Obi. He became the governor of Anambra State. Among the four major parties that contested, APGA came third. Now, this same Peter Obi, when he was done with his tenure, abandoned APGA to show you, oh my God, their personal ambition far outweighs the general well-being of his people. If he's a man that had principles, since APGA gave him a leverage to become a governor, nothing will make him leave APGA. Even if APGA is failing, the next thing is, as Biafra is coming, because Ojukwu was the leader of Biafra in 1967 to 1970, he should have pitched his tent with the Biafran people, because Ojukwu handed over to him, said, this is my son, do it. But Peter Obi, at that point, abandoned APGA. By abandoning APGA, he has left the vision Ojukwu gave. And you know, APGA is an offshoot of the Biafran nation. So APGA was to be kept alive so that the Biafran dream does not quench or go out. But Peter Obi abandoned APGA and went to PDP. Just like you see the people of Idu left the Biafran struggle and formed Idu. They are clean separated from us. We have no connection. We are not against them. We don't hate them. They can go. We don't care. And everybody has his own idiosyncrasy. So we have ours. They have theirs. So when Peter Obi left APGA, he separated himself from the principle of Odumegwu Ojukwu, who led the Biafran struggle from 1967 to 70 and went to PDP. He became a politician. And as you can see, Bianca Ono at the early stage criticized Peter Obi for abandoning what his master gave him. This is what they are trying to make Simon Ekpa to do now. To abandon, remember, that of Simon Ekpa even, he came out of his own accord to become the disciple of Nnamdi Kanu and said he's the last bus stop for anybody. You Simon Ekpa yourself. You maybe he can recommend you, endorse you, recognize you. That is how you know an intelligent person. But Ebayehone is full of wisdom. He said he'll be the last bus stop for any man that will betray Nnamdi Kanu in this struggle. Say Simon Ekpa be the last bus stop. And I stand behind him there. You don't know. Seriously. I'm standing behind Simon Ekpa seriously. And when he will not fall. I stand as a man of God. I know be those ones where they come tell you, say, I prophesy, you're going to have money, or, this one. I don't even want you to address me as prophet. I'm not interested. But I know I serve God. I'm a man of God. I serve him. And I'm standing behind Simon Ekpa in the Biafran issue. Nothing will happen to him. The wisdom God has bestowed on him will remain. He will continue just like Haggai, the prophet, was prophesying, backing up Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and Joshua, the son of Josedek, in the building of the temple walls in Jerusalem in those days. In the book of Zechariah and Haggai. They stood as prophets, prophesying, encouraging the people. Don't come and tell me talks that are very offensive. Offensive. Do you know, you are telling us to go against God. You are telling us to listen to the way Nigerians are talking and follow this same Nigeria that is wicked, devilish, satanic, evil. They do all manner of rituals and wickedness. They are so evil. They have consistently seen Igbos killed, marginalized, decimated, and destroyed. They never said anything. You are asking me to come. This mind that God has given to me is not meant to rebel against him or concede to the stupidity of ungodly people. No. No matter how small we are, we stand for the truth as the sons of Issachar. We know the signs of the times. The harder it comes against us, we know that the Lord is with us to win this battle, because the battle is not of man to win, it's of the Lord. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, "Unu enjoy Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Unana water the spirit. Also that when Jehovah Chukwuka Biama will destroy these people in Biafra land, they will know that we worship the God of heaven. Oh, we're worshiping Elohim. So owuro ike aka nke mmadụ na aga asị ka echiche otechime na ndị Igbo nwere akọnuche. That akọnuche is useless and stupid because all in asị na unu mara ihe unu azụ ahịa ya akọ unu. All the akọnuche enweghị isi because ndị Alakụba na-achụ unu ruo today, ruo tomorrow. They dictate, determine. They are leading in River State. Salido Kuba and others are merely pipeline defenders. Their land is devastated, ecological disaster. But all the money is used to build railway, this in Niger Republic, give them light, fix the north. The sense doesn't make sense. It's useless, nonsense, stupid sense of all this stupid Igbo mentality of nonsense. I'm a Biafran. I want to be free. I'm a free man because I've taken the path of freedom. I didn't say it's going to come on a platter of gold. I know. It's going to come by blood and fire. If it becomes expedient, it shall be fulfilled that those who make peaceful changes impossible, compel violent ones inevitable. And I know, like Nnamdi Kanu said, they are going to kill us, but we are going to kill them. They are going to kill us in Biafra land. We are not the one going to kill them in their land. They are coming to our land to kill us, to take over our land. We are going to kill them too. Who are those working for P2B? Part of them is Ojus Okalo, politicians of Igbo extraction, the Nigerian government and Nigerian politicians in Afanifere and Yoruba land. All those who don't believe in Biafra, but they see Biafrans suffer, decimated in the Nigerian territory. They don't care. Those are the ones that believe in P2B. We don't believe in P2B because we are tired of the killings that is going on in Biafra. I'm tired of hearing that Biafran girls are being raped. The former Super Cop, the call that Nnamdi Kanu told him, you leave Biafra in shame. He got an Igbo girl, kept up in Image. The girl came out and said, a very beautiful Biafran girl. Ima, our girls are so beautiful that everybody wants to have a taste of them. I've lived in Cameroon. Cameroonians respect Igbo girls. I don't know if they still respect up to now. But in those days, for you to get an Igbo girl as a girlfriend, they're easy. Because they are seen as a special breed of people. Also, some of our girls now are misbehaving because of money. And this man, what is his name? I don't even know his name. That stupid, wicked man, they say Super Cop, wanted for. The Nigerian government has not left him to go and face charges in America. This guy kept this girl and was using her as a sex toy. Bob Lord Choridin and why I got all this girl at his own, a beautiful girl, used to try happier. Nothing happened. Give him na more. Now this girl this time, more to sit down and negotiate with P2B. How would that girl be feeling? Her heart will die. She will almost say, oh, it's a pity that she has people like me, Emeka Livingston, as a fellow Biafran, that I saw all what happened to her. I still went and negotiated with P2B or listening to, I don't want to listen to P2B. P2B should listen to me. He should listen to Simon Ekpa. We want Biafra. P2B should listen to Nnamdi Kanu. He is our leader, not P2B. We don't know him. Oh, the person who knows Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And right now he has a spokesperson, Mazi Simon Ekpa, being backed up by all of us, including me. I'm backing up. I'm one of the 100. Nnamdi Kanu said, you need mental strength. Who is the person that will stand in the face of all this pressure? Still stand your ground and believe in the God of heaven who said, I need 100 men. This God will give us our land. It is not a battle between man and man. The heavens control what happens on earth. The battle is of the Lord's. So Biafrans, don't be carried away. All that, in fact, I went to the comment section or something and people were just endorsing. The Bible says the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of God. Because ndị 10 times. Nonye Fulani can never concede his principle because of you. He sees you as a kafir. You are an infidel. You are a vassal. You are a second-class citizen. You are an inferior being. That is how the Fulani man sees you. They say that the Fulani wants a P2B to. So what about it? Didn't you hear P2B's running mate, the brother, Hakim Baba Ahmed, who is the chairman of Northern Elders Forum? He said, we shall continue to rule Nigeria, whether as president or vice president. That's what he said. And the brother is the vice president for P2B. And he said, we are not going to support anybody except that person is on our own interest. It's not interested in you or your lousy, stupid, and ungodly dead Nigeria. He's only interested in him. And when he gets it, he will change that name Nigeria and put it another Fulani Republic, subdue you, your wife and your children. Let's just allow each other, there'll be peace. You are subdued forever. No, it's not going to happen. I have balls. Thank you, Biafrans. I don't believe in Peter Obi. And I don't believe anything that King Solomon said in respect to Peter Obi's relationship or suggestion to go and see Simon. I don't believe it. I don't endorse it. I don't accept it. And so I know Simon, but I've heard him many times. Apart from talking live, I've conversated with him. And I know that young man. There are certain things he has not even shown you of whom he really is. When he brings it out, some of you will run. You know that he's a dragon indeed. He's a very, very dangerous person that he has strategy that will shock even the Americans. Because they have put pressure on you, you're overwhelmed by what you're saying. And I tell someone, I think you should go and see Peter Obi should go and see him. Simon Ekpa should listen to me. Listen to who? Peter Obi came to destroy the Biafran dream or Image so that he can be president. That is what matters. Even Jonathan said that his presidency, his office is not worth the life of any Nigerian. That was a good for Jonathan. Even though I didn't like his administration, it was a good for him. And Peter Obi is telling you that he will die for Nigeria. He doesn't even care about Biafrans. The 14 boys that were killed. What happened in Ohofia recently? He's not even talking about it. He doesn't even care. Give a sin at Simon Ekpa. That was the reason why I spoke against Critic News the other day when he was trying to blame IPOB over what happened in Ohofia. I just say, do they have local government chairman in Ohofia? MLA, salary. What about the ward chairman? What about the traditional law of that village? What about the governor of Abia State? What of the House Representative member? What are they doing? Why will you come and blame Simon Ekpa for what happened in Ohofia? Knowing fully well that ESN, the Nigerian government is looking for them to kill them. Ebago is looking for them to kill them. The DSS is looking for them to kill them. People are still sabotaging ESN. Churches are against ESN. Churches that are negotiating with Fulanis to have a joint security patrol in Ohofia with the local people. The Fulani who came from his country came to your land, killed your people, took your land, and imposed levies on you before you go to your farm. You say you are going to have a peace treaty, negotiate a vigilante with the devil who came to kill you. See how stupid that is. It an Anglican pastor? Recently they said somebody married a man in Anglican church in South Africa, gay. You know, the churches are dying. God is not in their midst. I mean, denominational churches, not the body of Christ. There are three types of churches. We have the church universal, church denominational, and church individual. The church denominational is denominational churches, Church of God Mission, Deeper Life, this other. They all have compromised their faith. The universal church is all born again Christians in the world who serve Jesus Christ as their Lord and personal Savior in spirit and in truth. And the individual church is you that is born again on your own. So regardless of the pressure, Lot in the land of Sodom and Gomorrah did not bow. He stood his ground and left that city with his two daughters. They were still virgins. There were other men of God there. And under pressure, King Solomon is looking